On the coldest medieval nights, when frost crept along roads and silence swallowed villages, one place burned with life: the tavern. But here is the mystery. These rooms were warm, loud and crowded, yet winter inside them could be as dangerous as the storm outside. People did not enter taverns for comfort. They entered because being alone could kill you faster than hunger or cold. As darkness fell early and homes lost heat, travellers, peasants, soldiers, widows and criminals pushed through the same door, all seeking fire. Fires roared in the hearth, but fear hovered just as close. Who could you trust? Who might steal from you while you slept? Who would turn violent after too much ale? Taverns were not cheerful refugees. They were survival chambers under pressure. When blizzards trapped people for days, these buildings became crowded ecosystems of warmth, risk and human instinct. Every night was a gamble between freezing outside or enduring the chaos within. To understand medieval winter life, you must stand in that smoky room, shoulder to shoulder with strangers, where heat was shared, danger was constant, and survival depended on community more than comfort. Medieval taverns existed because winter made normal life impossible. Most homes were poorly insulated, heated by a single weak fire that barely touched stone walls, soaked in cold. Roads vanished under snow and mud. Travel slowed to a crawl. Taverns and inns became essential infrastructure. They were licensed places allowed to serve food, drink and fire, often regulated because violence and disorder were expected. In winter, their purpose shifted. They became shelters. Thick walls, shuttered windows, and large hearths made them warmer than ordinary houses. Straw-covered floors to insulate feet and absorb moisture. Benches lined walls. Tables were pushed close to the fire. People slept sitting up or on the floor, wrapped in cloaks still wet from snow. Smoke filled the air. Rats scurried freely. Ale replaced water because it was safer to drink. This was not leisure. It was endurance. Taverns also served as information centres. News of blocked roads, food shortages, disease and death spread here first. In winter, knowledge could save your life. Taverns were filthy, crowded and tense, but they functioned because they concentrated warmth, food and people in one place, when the outside world became lethal. The hidden logic of winter taverns lies in how they controlled heat without science or machines. The hearth was everything. Fires burned nearly non-stop, fueled by wood, peat or charcoal. Size mattered. Large central hearths radiated heat evenly, unlike small household fires that lost warmth to walls. Chimneys created steady airflow, pulling oxygen in and keeping flames hot. Bodies were part of the system. Dozens of people packed together raised the temperature naturally. Wet cloaks steamed near the fire, adding humidity that made the air feel warmer. Food played a role too. Stews simmered all day, feeding many while heating the room continuously. Thick stone walls absorbed heat like storage, releasing it slowly through the night. Tavern keepers learned by trial and disaster. Too much draught and people froze. Too little ventilation and smoke suffocated everyone. Balance meant survival. Alcohol did not warm the body, but it dulled pain and fear, helping people endure cold longer. None of this was written knowledge. It was learned through winter deaths and remembered through practice. When modern heating arrived, this understanding faded, but the principles never changed. The world has changed, but winter tavern logic still appears when systems fail. During blackouts, disasters or fuel shortages, people instinctively gather in one heated room. Families sleep together. Communities open shared shelters. The medieval tavern model returns. Concentrate heat, reduce space, share resources. Modern energy-efficient homes use the same idea with zoned heating, thermal mass, and communal living areas. Survival experts teach it again under different names. Taverns also remind us of the cost of shared warmth. Crowding spreads illness. Stress creates conflict. Smoke and poor air harm health. Medieval people accepted these risks because the alternative was death by exposure. Today, we have technology to reduce those dangers, but the underlying principle remains. Warmth is not just mechanical, it is social. Taverns show that resilience comes from cooperation and design, not luxury. They were awful places by modern standards, but they worked. They kept people alive through nights where cold could kill within hours. In a future shaped by climate extremes, these forgotten systems feel less primitive and more instructive. When we strip away romantic images, medieval taverns reveal something honest about human survival. They were not places of joy during winter. They were places of negotiation. Negotiation with cold, hunger, fear, and strangers. Fires burned because they had to. Crowds gathered because isolation was deadly. Every bench, every hearth, every shared bowl of stew was part of a fragile system designed to last until morning. Taverns remind us that comfort is not the same as safety, and safety is not the same as warmth. What mattered was staying alive together. That truth still applies. In moments of crisis, we return to the same instincts our ancestors relied on. Gather, share heat, share food, share knowledge. The medieval tavern was harsh, loud, and dangerous, but it was human. If this story reshaped how you imagine winter, history, or survival itself, then the past has spoken clearly. Keep listening to it, because when the cold returns, the oldest lessons are often the ones that endure the longest.